I want to start by saying that my intention with this proposed ordinance is to put our existing, long-standing community values into law and apply them evenly and fairly. Somerville already tries to spend money in line with publicly held values. We accept that the city should not, where it can avoid it, use its money to support grave injustice. The idea here is just to put that into codified law. I also want to say as clearly as I can, all people are welcome in Somerville. Jews, Arabs, Israelis, Palestinians, Muslims, and people of every religion, ethnicity, national origin, and political view.
Folks.
Are welcome here. Thank you. Many residents fear that putting this ballot initiative into practice will become an effort to exclude or alienate Jews from our community, and that cannot happen.
Folks, if there are more interruptions, I'll clear the chambers, okay? The councilor is recognized. No one else from the public is recognized. The councilor is the only one in the room that's speaking. Councilor Wheeler, please continue.
Thank you. We should never have a policy that suggests that Jews, Israelis, or anyone else is less welcome here because of who they are, where they come from, or what government they're connected to by birth, family, religion, or history. The painful violence that we've seen to date and the long-running oppression experienced by multiple peoples, these are the source of the intensity that we see expressed when these issues are brought up anywhere in our city. That's where this pain comes from. This pain and this intensity is part of what our entire community has been going through, and it forms the backdrop to the ballot question that was before us last November. This question did not call for a boycott of Israel writ large. If it had, I would have opposed it. Instead, it pointed to the question of whether companies that we contract with or invest in are actively supporting these narrowly defined acts of egregious injustice. So this ordinance is not meant to single out Israel or any country. It is not a boycott of any government, any people, any civil society, or anyone with ordinary financial ties to the Israeli government or any government. This is about involvement with specific grave harms recognized in law and human rights standards that are this is the sort of source of concern, no matter where it happens. Many residents have asked Somerville to do more than just pass a statement about this. They have asked us to translate our values into policy. A non-binding resolution can speak to principles. A law has to adapt those to be practical, legal, fair, and capable of being administered by the city. This proposed draft reflects the real divide between the council's legislative power and the mayor's executive power. The council can pass ordinances. The executive branch has to administer the law. So the ordinance asks the mayor to produce a policy explaining how the city will assess compliance with this. The goal here is to make discretion visible and to provide clarity about the standards being applied. It is reasonable to ask why Israel and Palestine get so much attention compared with other grave injustices. The answer, in part, is that there is a debate. There is a passionate debate about this in a way there isn't about many other cases where there's already widespread agreement. And like any debate, this one pulls in some arguments and assumptions that are valid and consistent, and others that can be flawed or troubling. And that's why we have to be precise here. I am aware, and my family has long been aware, that anti-Semitism can be subtle, and it can show up as double standards. We should keep this in mind as we try to craft policies that capture our principles and apply them fairly. We cannot treat every indirect financial connection as moral complicity. We cannot treat any single link at all as making a company untouchable. That way of thinking is the wrong way to approach this, because we're all connected. We all live under governments that do things that we sometimes oppose, and people everywhere still need education, healthcare, public services, and ordinary civic life. No ordinance could provide perfect separation from every injustice in the world. My hope instead is that this ordinance joins the many rules that imperfectly guide our city's decisions. Rules that we hope work well, that we know sometimes disappoint, but that help us get things right a little bit more than before. The best version of this ordinance would be modest, clear, and fair. It would continue Somerville's values and not depart from them. It would oppose direct support for specific grave harms, not condemn a whole country or a whole people. It would be strong enough to matter and narrow enough to be just. If the wording here falls short of that, then I want to improve it. We are representatives. We represent people who voted for us and people who didn't. We represent people who voted yes on question 3, people who voted no, and people who abstained. We represent people with strong feelings and fears on many sides of many issues. My job is to represent all residents as best I can while taking seriously the law, the city's finances, and the real work that our rules will create for staff. That's what I'm trying to do here. And I hope that we can keep working together, even across deep disagreement, in a way that keeps everyone together in this community. Thank you.